Hello there. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can turn your 2D sketches into 3D printable silhouettes. You can use these techniques to make some very cool things. For example, here, I made some shower hooks. And I also made these adorable cat clips. Now, without further ado, let us begin. To start off with, you'll need a reference image. You can sketch one yourself or use an older illustration. However, if you don't know how to draw, you can trace another photograph or use an image generator. Here, I'm typing the words cat line art as an example. Make sure to include the words line art to avoid accidentally spawning in a daemon. So once we have an image that we're happy with, we'll need to convert our raster image made of blocky pixels into vectors, effectively from JPEG to SVG. This is because our little clanker friend doesn't understand pixels, but does understand XYZ coordinates. At this point in the project, I did try and directly convert the image to a printable object using an online converter, but the results were not very good. So we'll have to convert our image to vector manually. To do this, I'll be using Inkscape, a free vector editor. First, I'll set the opacity down to 20%. We'll create a new folder. Then we'll select the 9th option down the left-hand side toolbar, or press B for the pen tool. This will allow us to start drawing on our illustration. We'll make a quick outline around our drawing, and then once we're happy with the result, press Enter to confirm. Here, I'm just going to fix the opacity. But because we're not trying to make a Minecraft skin, we'll need to add some curvature to our drawing. So selecting the second option down the left-hand side toolbar or pressing N, go into node selection mode. You'll know that you've done things right when you see all these diamonds pop up. All you need to do is hold Shift to add some curvature anchors. Once you're happy with the result, we'll want to add a power stroke modifier. This will add some line variation to our paths. On the right-hand side panel, type in stroke or power stroke and select the option. Once it's applied, you'll see that sometimes your lines can get messed up. To fix this, all you need to do is go back to node editing and make sure that each node has 2 anchors. Importantly, power stroke adds these additional off-center diamonds, which you can then use to adjust the thickness of your lines. You can add more diamonds by holding Alt and clicking, and you can delete the diamonds by holding Control, Alt, and clicking. For the lower half of our image, to cleanly merge the 2 paths, we'll change our ending and starting cap in power stroke to butt. Feel free to experiment with different shapes to find out what works best for you. This will allow us to overlap the 2 lines slightly without any ugly overhangs. We now have a clean line art that we're ready to bring into CAD to extrude. For this part of the tutorial, we'll need a 3D parametric modeler. I'll be using FreeCAD. First, create a new document, then select File and Import. Import your clean lines. Once your lines have been imported, you'll notice that there are some errors. To fix those errors, we'll need to go to the top and hover over the benches, and then change to the draft workbench. We'll select the downgrade option. This will convert our plane into a bunch of wires, and we'll simply delete the wires that are causing the problem. We'll repeat the same for the lower half. And once we're done, select both paths and click the upgrade icon with the up arrow to convert them back into planes. We'll now switch back to the Park workbench and then selecting both our paths, we can hit the extrude button. On the right hand side, we can type in the height that we want, in this case 10 millimeters. And here you can see the extrusion has been successful. We're now technically finished, and we can directly export this model into Bamboo Studio or any kind of slicer of your choice. In order to create a decorative imprint or a stencil, you'll need to conduct a Boolean operation. Here, I'm just going to model a quick box as an example. You'll want to select your extrusion and then place it over the plane where you want to conduct your Boolean operation. Then, you'll need to select your box and then select your extrusion. With both selected, choose the option on the top that looks like two balls. This will complete your cut. And that's all. If you've got any more questions, drop them in the comments below. The remainder of the video is just going to be a time lapse of me making the shower hangers. If you'd like one, consider supporting me by purchasing them from my Etsy. Bye!